bless. This your boy Tyrone Muhammad, aka Muhammad the Mortician. You already know, #1 mortician in the nation. I'm a funeral director in the state of New Jersey. And for the past few days, you already know who I am. And those who don't know who I am, my platform is very strong. I speak out against the senseless gun and gang violence amongst black people who are destroying each other's lives. And the lives they're destroying are other black young men. These lives are not being taken by white people, no police. They're being taken by their very own, the same culture, African American, black, Negro, colored, minority, whatever you want to call yourself. You're killing each other. Well, just a few short days ago, I was deciding to make a video about the horrific killings that took place, the horrific shootings that took place there in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago with this past Father's Day. Most of you know, or if not know, there was 104 people shot, 13 murdered. 13 murdered. 64-year-old woman shot in the arm, our senior citizen. A 3-year-old murdered in the backseat of his father's car coming from a barbershop. A 14-year-old girl doing a TikTok video, bullet ripped right through her window and hit her right in the neck, bled out right in front of her mother. And just as I was getting ready to make the video, come lo and behold, wake up this morning and find out yesterday a 20-month-old baby in the backseat of the car of his 22-year-old mother in the Austin community of Illinois, outside in Chicago, on her way to a laundromat, was set upon not by the KKK, not by the Ku Klux Klan, not by any white national organization or Aryan nation, the people that is destroying the community, which is black young thugs, criminals. Now, they shot through the car, irrespective that they know the child was in the car or not. I'm sure they probably know the child was in there. They probably saw the mother getting in the car, putting the laundry in, putting her child in the car, and followed this mother, and they got to a certain point of the street 68, and at the corner, they shot her. Shot through the back door and killed her 20-month-old baby. She rushed to the hospital to try to save her child. Too late. I don't know, family and friends. If you guys are being misunderstanding or not sure about what's going on, let me tell you, and let's be very clear. I am a mortician. I'm a person who lay you down on that table. I'm the person that embalm you. I'm the person that see your blood going down the table. I'm the person that dress you. I'm the person that put you in that casket. And I tell you, oftentimes that the people, or more times than not, should I say, that is putting you in these caskets, that you've been murdered. You're not being murdered by a police officer. You're not being murdered by a Ku Klux Klan. You're not being murdered by anybody that you say support Donald Trump. You're being murdered by your own, very own criminals, thugs, those rough, terrible elements in our community, which is misguided, misbehaving, uneducated, and not parented children of black people. So I don't know what it's going to take for you guys to understand that when you start killing our own little children and there's no remorse, there's no looting, no rioting, no burning down the property, and the #1 G code in the community, no snitching. And you allow this killer to stay in the community to kill again. So I don't know what it's going to take for black people to get off their high horse, to get off their notion that America owes you something. America doesn't owe you anything. America is a land of a capitalistic society for those who are going to grind, those who are going to make things happen. Now, you can blame institutional racism, revert racism. I don't care what you do. That is a pure nonsense and disgusting. Where you have these looters, these robbers, these murderers of children, of women in our community, and you're not standing up and saying not a thing about it. So what is it going to take for you to understand that the #1 killer in your community is not the coronavirus? The #1 killer in your community is not some cancer. Something what we consider in our industry of natural causes. No, the #1 killer in your community is 18 to 24-year-old, 15 years old, 30-year-old murderers, criminals, thugs that is killing our people. So while you running around here waiting for a statue of Abraham Lincoln to be torn down, or some type of iconic white racist or nationalist that you think that perpetrated some crimes against you, these statues have not moved since they've been put up there. They have not been moved an iota of an inch. But you allow day by day, inch by inch of the killer to remain in the community. You allow these black thugs in our community, the inch by inch, to gravitate towards our young babies, bring them in the gangs because you're too lazy to parent your own children. Get back to traditional values of teaching your children something. Teach them that they got some common sense. Instead of teaching about, you worrying about somebody who's teaching them hate, teach them to love themselves so they don't have to run around rampant and killing up innocent people in the community. This is beyond despicable, disgusting. Black Lives Matters is a joke. That movement is all but a joke filled with a bunch of liberals who are backing a bunch of idiot, not ignorant black people for $1 to push their own agenda, to push the agenda of the liberals. So what we sick and tired of seeing so many black people laying on the embalming table. If you guys are not sick of it, then if you guys are not willing to stand up, then just say you're not willing to stand up because you're a coward and you don't want to stand. Anybody who Google me understand me. Anybody who do YouTube understand me, that I'm out there in the street with the caskets. I'm out there trying to get my young brothers' attention to let them know, man, listen to me. Let's begin to have a dialogue. Let's begin to work together, unite on what is right and what is the best for us. And what we need to unite on and what we know that is best for us, not always pointing fingers at white people. White people are not killing us. I'm more afraid of young black people instead of white people. I'll walk through 100 white people by myself versus walking through see three young black men coming. That's just real talk, and that's just being honest. Because the fact that our standard of morals, our values have fallen so low that we're not willing to do nothing about it. We're not willing to educate and teach our people about this. So we getting sick and tired of this. You got a 20-month-old murdered, simply doing nothing but riding in the back seat of the car with his mother, on his way to the laundromat to wash his clothes and to make sure that his clothes is clean. And that's something typically what we do in the black community, that we go to the laundromat if we don't have a washing machine or dry. And we typically do this on Saturdays because most of the time we work it or for whatever reason. But there's no outrage, there's no Black Lives Matters movement marching in the street. There's no cry out for justice. There's no message out right now. The news crews need to be out there seeing 10,000 black men in the street telling you, demanding you to turn in a criminal. Now, we do know there's a $30,000 reward for leading to the arrest of this criminal, this savage, this animal or animals. But the fact of the matter, we know that $30,000, which most of the people in the community need, but nobody's going to collect that $30,000. Why? Because they're not going to turn in. They're not going to snitch. That's going against the G code. So today we're talking about accountability, responsibility, and what do black America want? What do you want, black people? Please tell me what you want. Pulling down the statues, that can't be the answer. That definitely cannot be the answer. Black Lives Movement, that definitely cannot be an answer. Telling people to take down and burn the flag, take down, that can't be the answer. It's only reflecting, it's only showing that there's disproportionate black men that's in prison because they put themselves in prison. Some people are innocently put in there, but for the most part, black people are doing the crimes. And blaming black people for things that you're not getting. You're not getting it because you're not putting the efforts forward. You're sitting back complaining, keep pointing fingers, and always whining about what white people do. White people don't doing nothing to you, family. You doing it to yourself. White people ain't thinking about you. The same problem that you got, they got. They got to pay rent. You got to pay rent. They worrying about how they going to pay their mortgage. Same as you. They worrying about how they going to put their children through school. Same as you. So with all that is going on in their lives, you think they got time to worry about you and your nonsense? So you can't compete. You can't come to the table with other nationalities and other ethnicities. Because when you come into there, you're not coming there with nothing but baggage. Baggage of crime, murder, deception, misbehaved children, and you're letting them run amok. And there's no parenting. So we're sick and tired of seeing so many of our young black men and young black babies and black women murdered, not at the hands of anybody else but black people. And it's time for black people to wake the hell up. I don't understand what you gangbangers are out there. You killing one another. You out there marching when George Floyd got killed. But now it's right back to murdering. 104 shot. And ain't nobody saying a damn thing about it. Utterly disgusting. You're nothing but a bunch of savage killers. And I pray that this 20-month-old, thank God that, you're out of it right now. You don't have to grow up in that misery. I'm sorry that you lost your life that way, baby. I'm sorry that you didn't have no good people in the community, black men, particularly because black women has been there. Black men in the community that could be a role model for you, upstanding men that taught you how to be an entrepreneur, how to go get it, teach you how to tie your shoe. So instead of so busy learning what type of gun they could put their hands on and what's the next black victim. So rest in peace, 20-month-old. Rest in peace, the 3-year-old that was murdered in the backseat of his father's car, just getting a fresh cut. Rest in peace to the 14-year-old young sister, TikTok young sister, making a video shot in the nest. And I hope you feel better to the 64-year-old elder in our community who was shot in the arm during this rampage of killers and savages. This is your boy, Muhammad the Mortician. We talking about accountability, and responsibility, and also what do Black America want? Peace.